Hey there everybody, Pop on Top here. Welcome back to some more Fallout 4 mods. In today's mod, we have the Vulkan 2.0, or at least that's the name of the mod. This is the Vulkan M, actually. This is the name of the weapon. It's an assault rifle. It's a Ukrainian assault rifle, to be specific. From Ukraine, obviously, you know, with the current, issues going on, I guess it makes sense to put it into the game. But it's a bullpup assault rifle. We're just going to shoot it off here a little bit. Reload it, so you get the bullpup, obviously the receiver being in front of the magazine, right? So the magazine feeds to the receiver from the rear, and you get that cool, unique looking reload. Obviously it's supposed to help with other things like make the weapon more compact, recoil, all the other stuff that comes with bullpup weapons in real life that doesn't necessarily apply to the game. But once you've downloaded this mod for yourselves, you can craft the weapon for yourself at the chemistry station. At the very bottom here, the Vulkan M does require a decent amount of stuff, but no perk requirements, and by default shoots the 7.62 ammo, which is from the Nuka World DLC. If you don't have that, you might have some issues. I'm not sure. I can't know for you. But it is an assault rifle, right? It's pretty basic. 7.62 ammo. Reload is nice. Obviously, unique custom reload on that there. We'll show off the running animation too. You got that one-handed running animation that I know a lot of you don't like because you mentioned it in my comment section before in previous videos and stuff, that you wish mod authors would stop having assault rifles with one-handed reloads. I think it makes way more sense for a bullpup to do this because the weapon would be shorter and smaller and more compact and easier to hold in a one-handed fashion like this while sprinting. But let's take it to the weapon workbench and see what we can do here. So, all the way down here to the Vulkan M. Obviously you can make it, automatic or semi-auto with the same kind of receivers you expect from most weapons in the game. I'm going to make it automatic because in this case, actually, this is different than most base vanilla weapons and most weapons that you see. Automatic receivers do more damage. So like an advanced receiver that maxes out at 67 damage per bullet, automatic powerful, which I believe is the most powerful, would be 96. So you do the most damage there. You could put a muzzle on here, right? Different types of muzzle brakes or compensators or a suppressor. We'll put a suppressor on there because it does without any of these on, it says our range set is 0. Which is not actually true. It's a weird situation. I'm going to show this off rip here real quick. It's obviously not 0 because if we had 0 range, the VATS would not detect a target at that range, right? Like it weighs into your perception and stuff. Obviously, we have a powerful shooter up, very powerful, doing some damage. We'll show that off here in some combat later on in the video. But for now, let's put, like a suppressor on there. We'll do suppress noise and stuff. So you can put a flashlight on here. Or a laser sight. It's one or the other with this particular weapon, though, not both. I'm going to put a flashlight on. I don't really need a laser sight. Hipfire is kind of good enough as it is, but like if you want it, you can do that. So you can also do magazines here. So you have 5.56 ammo, which obviously does less damage than 7.62. It's a smaller bullet. It just does less damage, right? But all different kinds of varieties here. Most of these are just cosmetic, right? They might have this is slightly different magazine size, maybe. But you can obviously, you want to get to the big old drum. Probably, unless you want the reload speed of this one. We'll show the reload speed off of that real quick. You have all different kinds of sights here. Modern, realistic, I guess, military scopes and stuff here. Most of these I don't think look very good for my particular preference. We'll show some of these off. We'll put an EOTech on there to start. You can put a vertical grip on there. It doesn't say it does anything, but I put it on there anyway. Might as well. And then you obviously get your damage modifier if you think the weapon isn't powerful enough and you just would like to be overpowered. So not like a huge amount of things. It's a decent looking EOTech sight. Nice suppressed sound. That's the quick reload too. That doesn't really even feel that much faster, and you still only get to 30 rounds. I don't think you really need more than 30 rounds, but you could always put on your big old drum mag of either variety. Obviously, you do lose, what, 25 damage off of going 5.56 over 7.62, so you might as well go 7.62 if you have the ammunition for it. And I will show off that the flashlight works here, so we'll get into first person here. Flashlight is working off of the gun, which is pretty cool, right? But that's a feature of a lot of weapons here. And that's kind of the complicated part that I get to of this is a nice weapon, but it doesn't necessarily do anything better than any of the other assault rifle mods that I've covered. It is cool looking, and it does have that unique animations and stuff, and the animations are nice, but there's plenty of other mods that have more options, right? We'll show off some different more sights, so we'll put this razor optic on there. I don't even know what this is. I'm not a gun guy, but I mean, that's alright looking, I guess. I like the little purpley glow, I guess, of the sight. But obviously, the weapon doesn't really recoil that much, as you see there. I mean, I shot off like half a mag, and it doesn't really go. I mean, it's going to go up, right? It does have some recoil. But no one's ever actually shooting the full 70 rounds of the drum without letting the trigger off. I mean, if you are, I guess, you're fighting some shit that I've never even seen in the game before. Because, you know, it's doing a lot of damage. We'll show that off in combat here when we get to that part. But it is going to just completely blow through everything. Now, the texture quality on this is pretty good considering that the file size is quite small. Which is, I guess, the compromise here is that we do get, you know, nice, very compressed textures on this, where the file size of this mod is not as huge as most other assault rifle mods. This is a decent little scope per sight. Sights are, you know, decent enough, right? I'm like a big, simple reticle guy. I like just your basic dot sight, but like a lot of reticles just like to be in the way. But it's not horrible, I would say. It's definitely better than some guns that I've seen for sure. But the texture quality here, as we look at the weapon, is nice enough, right? It looks good here. Obviously, I'm playing at 1080p though, so it's just like, you know, compared to that. But obviously, it's always a compromise. If you want to make the files huge, you can have like a 500 megabyte mod, but it looks amazing. But then nobody can actually download it and stuff. So you know, it is always a cost there. Let's put like a bigger, longer range, slightly scope on there. Let's see what that looks like. See, that's like a dot sight, but this sight's like way too big, right? Like, obviously, that's obviously how the sight looks like in real life and stuff too. But like, it's just not my personal preference. The iron sights are not very good on this. I didn't show that off necessarily, but they're not, you know, amazing. This is just a scope, right? I believe it's a scope. Yeah, like one of those. It's a night vision scope, but it's essentially my scope looks this way because I have mods to make my scope look this way. But this will just look like a regular vanilla night vision scope for you if you do not have the same mods on as me. So, you know, it is an assault rifle. It's bullpup. It's good. The animations are good. Attachment variety is what I would consider enough for me. You get everything that I think you need from a weapon, but it does, you know, lack maybe some of the things that, you know, other weapon mods have. But you do save on file size for that. See, I don't like this big circle reticle, right? Like, it's a really clean-ish looking sight, very, you know, minimal in terms of like how much scope there is obscuring your vision of your enemies. But the big old circle with a dot in it is just too much for me, you know. But I'm gonna pause real quick, and I will see you guys in a little bit when we get to some combat, and we'll see how that goes. Alright everybody, we're pulling up here on my Zombies Are in Arcade mode. I put this scope on. This is like one of my favorite scope. This is very clean. It's like essentially like, you know, like a long range scope without zooming in too far. So you can technically still use it at close range. We're going to show that off here in some combat in my Zombies Are in Arcade mode. But you know, it does have, you know, plenty of variety in terms of your attachments and stuff. I think it does hit. You got all the scopes, you got laser sights or flashlights if you want to, you got magazines, you got different ammunition types. It doesn't have some of the ammunition types that the other guns have where you get like irradiated bullets, incendiary bullets, explosive rounds, all that kind of stuff. So like, but like I said, weighing the file size into the equation, I think it is a good gun. I mean, it's a nice looking gun, and that raider just got cheesed. You're right here, huh? I literally got the sneak attack critical on that person because they didn't attack me, but obviously, as you see here, we don't, even without any damage modifiers to increase the damage of the weapon, we're doing just fine. One shot headshot with a sneak attack critical, right? Like, the 75 round drum mag ain't getting used as much as it possibly could be, maybe. Like, I'm doing just fine. Hey. But I mean, you could just spray down hallways. The hip fire without even a laser sight is just plenty fine. That's only a whole wave already. Jesus Christ. I almost wish I didn't put a suppressor on there, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, these are raiders. They're not going to be that tough anyway. But I mean, like, even a Deathclaw, right? You're still not putting more than like maybe like 10, 15 bullets into it before it dies. Even like the highest level stuff, right? We're going to do some VAT shooting and some third-person stuff here this time. I'm going to try to make sure to do that. I'm going to let the enemy spawn in. Obviously, at point blank here, one burst in VATS for one-shotting people already as it is. That was excessive. The bloody mess perk kicks in because I shot him essentially what was overkill amount of times. We'll do some third-person stuff here. The cool thing about this scope is that even though it is a long-range scope, in third person, you still get the dot, right? Unlike some other scopes. They don't even know what's happening to them. So obviously, like, you know, I think a lot of the time with these combat tests that I'm doing, most weapons, especially modern weapons, just perform well, right? Like, it's not like they won't kill things. What the? Unless you really have like a unique aspect to your weapon, it's gonna function well, right? And this weapon does function well. It does look cool. It looks nice in third person. The animations are working there, right? VATS accuracy is obviously good. Headshot, go for the 67. Just why not? Yeah, just absolutely splattered their gray matter all over the place. Anybody else left? Nope, that's it. I mean, that's the Vulkan M, or I guess the Vulkan 2.0, because it's the 2.0 version because they've reduced the file size. And it is, I believe it's in the 60s of megabytes. I don't exactly know off the top of my head. But it is a good weapon. It is a nice weapon. Obviously, comes from Ukraine. I don't know if that has any extra value to it, but I think that's interesting and unique at least. Bullpup design is cool. I like bullpup weapons just because they're unique in that sense, right? Rather than just having your same M4 style assault rifle, right? Like this is just your AK or stuff like that. There's like a lot of variations within that platform, right? It's kind of a unique, cool, and little thing. So I highly recommend you guys check this one out for yourself. It seems like something that you'd be into. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Is this mod cool? You like this assault rifle? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? Whatever. I appreciate you guys leaving a comment all the same. If you guys would like to check out this mod for yourselves, make sure to check out the top link in the description. There'll be a link there to the Bethesda.net page and the Nexus mod page, so you can download this for yourselves there. If you guys have enjoyed the video, like the video. If you guys are new to my channel and you haven't yet already, make sure to subscribe so that way you can check out more videos from me. And pretty much other than that, you guys have a good rest of your day, whatever it may be, and I'll see you in the next episode.